witnessed. Even more carnage at the Eden Gardens.
So much for predictions.
I know.
And conservative estimates, no way, because 261 for 6, yet another 250 plus total. Let's rattle off those numbers. 287 batting first, Sunrisers did it against RCB. 277 Sunrisers rattling it off against Mumbai Indians. 272 by KKR versus DC batting first. 266 by Sunrisers against the Delhi Capitals. 262 batting second was RCB. KKR one shot. 261 for 6 batting first. There the interlude ends.
And breathe. And I mean, you're talking about score estimates. Saransh had the highest score prediction, and even he's 30 runs off.
Yeah, 232, I said.
Yeah.
232.
He's 30 runs off.
Yes. No one predicted this would happen again. Let's be very honest about it. But looking at the start, that Sunil, Narine and Phil Salt, as you said upstairs, the brothers of destruction. If one doesn't get you, the other will.
In this case, both of them got you.
75 of 37, 71 of 32. Sunil Narine. I think we have to change it to Sunil Gavaskar, looking at the way how he's doing it, because look at his consistency
How
in
many
IPL.
times have you
How
seen
can that be the
Yardstick?
yeah,
Gavaskar Narine? Just for Sunil's sake.
Sunil.
Just for Sunil's sake.
the conventional?
He was genius. Yeah.
Never have the ball above the ground.
And never would make room and
And
last.
Sunil Narine never had the
Keep
ball
the ball
on the
on
ground.
Well, fun fact, he was named after Gavaskar.
Yes.
Sunny.
Yes, yes.
He was named after Gavaskar.
Also, how many times have you seen a batter, second store batter with a strike rate of 200?
At one point,
Score,
when Narine was going all guns, 240 odd, and Salt was going conservative, 190.
190.
Yeah, I know. Salt anyway became too much for the Punjab Kings because they put on a magnificent exhibition of fielding, dropping about 4 catches. Didn't help. And
I would say 5 actually, because again, towards the end, you had that one catch that was a half chance for Jitesh.
Russell's catch.
Russell's that edge.
it went so fast that even the fly slip fielder couldn't get it.
Yeah.
It was that firmly struck. So, combination of dropped catches didn't help, plus too many extras. They bowled 2 overs extra, 13 extras in that sense. We have had an overrate situation yet again. 1 hour 54 minutes for 20 overs to be bowled, and some shoddy umpiring yet again. How on earth could that last ball be signalled a wide when it was inside the tram line? Let us be very honest about it. So it's an uphill task for the Punjab Kings with 261 for 6.
Too many things you've touched upon. I don't know which one to talk about.
So
The
starting
umpire,
from
this and that.
starting from Sunil Narine and Phil Salt.
Yeah,
the
one by
opening.
one. Let's start by just the total, man.
Yeah.
Yet again.
261, and what I'm baffled about is that 261 had only been breached once before before this IPL happened. Now it's happened for the 6th time, and what's really baffling is 261 in a T20 game happens to be the 6th highest total this season.
This season. Yes.
6th highest.
total.
Like, you're not even making it top 5.
They're not making it top 3, which you rightfully should be. But
Not top 3. They should have been the greatest T20 total ever.
and we're looking at it being like, they could have got 10 more runs.
But
actually,
the 6th thing this season is not even the greatest 6th best total this season.
If you look at it, 10 overs.
Shocking.
10 overs, they were 138. Had they gone on in that rate, they would have crossed 277 also.
No, that you can't take. I'll tell you why. Because if by that standard, 400 was coming when SRH were batting.
Against Delhi in Delhi.
Yeah.
125 in 6 overs.
Six
oh my
overs,
god.
yes.
So just extrapolate it. How many overs?
That's
400.
So 125 into 3
It's
so that's
375.
375.
and another 2 overs.
They'll get 25
That's
runs.
400.
They're getting 400.
That was 400.
Yeah, I mean, but see, we are looking at records being rewritten this IPL 2024. I mean, look at it. 549 runs in one game in 40 overs.
Also, in those 2 of those games, when Sunrisers scored 287, Mumbai scored around 234, and DC also scored around 230 odd runs.
No, they
199.
didn't. No,
47 runs they lost
In
by.
one of the games, one other team also
KKR.
came close chasing and came close
KKR.
chasing.
No, DC game was not close. They lost by 100 runs.
To 277 MI SRH.
SRH has twice conceded excess of 200 while they were defending.
But I will, place this 261 a bit higher than the 6th highest it is, and I'll tell you why. I agree that it's a ground where a lot of runs are usually scored, shorter boundaries and all of that. But statistically, not maybe analytically, Punjab I think has been the best bowling lineup this season. I think that the only team that's not conceded even they've not conceded 200 even once this IPL.
Yeah,
I think they've conceded 199.
SRH, yes.
Yes, 199.
And they lost by 2 runs in that.
Yeah, but not 200 this season. So till now, I mean, compared to a lot of other teams, because you had 5 other examples before that, a lot of teams conceding that kind of score. I mean, they seem to be one of the most economical bowling attack this season. Yes, I think the biggest problem with Punjab has been that the batting hasn't really fired. Nobody has really got going. But I think the bowlers have done a pretty good job this season overall. So to have got this sort of a total against one of the most frugal bowling lineup this season, I think that's what really puts this 261 slightly higher.
I mean, you've got the highest score needed in the IPL ever. 261 for 6, and again it follows the same pattern. Look at the matches that happened in Delhi, look at the matches that happened in Bengaluru. What's the common trend? Smaller boundaries, flat decks. And if you look at it, Eden this time has been dishing out, especially in the night games, very, very flat decks. You saw the highest chase in IPL ever at the same venue.
Most other times you'd be worried about this total, but I won't beat tonight. One, because of the PBKS batting. Had it been another team that has been in form, you could have said, SRH, Lucknow, Mumbai on a given day, CSK on a given day. You would have been like, no, they can chase it down. And the other thing that will ensure that they don't, there's no Stark also to
lead 50 runs for free.
So they're 50 runs short to begin with.
I mean, look at what are the matches that Eden's produced. I mean, there have been 208 and 204 in the KKR SRH game, which you just won. 221 and 220 against RCB.
The RR game, don't forget.
The RR game 223 and 226. I mean, the amount of runs that have been scored, they are saying Chinnaswamy? No, I think it's been Eden that has been giving you the most number of runs. I mean, if you look at it, barring a day.
And that's what I was about to say. With Chinnaswamy, you tend to get flat decks regardless of the time you are playing at. Yeah. With KKR, we did see that LSG game, the batting first was not easy. A lot of bowlers were using the cutters to good effect. The spinners were very effective. Night games, though, it seems to be a graveyard for bowlers. And then Punjab Kings decide to be very gracious visitors and not take a single catch properly in the first 10 innings. Again, look at it. Phil Salt was dropped when he was in his 20s and 30s, twice. Narine dropped when he was in his 30s. Look at the number of free runs you've given away. After that, they batted like they had nothing to lose. You got a second life.
And those were not tough catches as per standards. Both of Sunil Narine and Phil Salt's. Sunil Narine was dropped by Arshdeep Singh at the point, and that was not tough. And look,
Russell, I think they gave a life, but after I didn't lose much on that. Because I think only another 4 runs he managed.
Yeah,
but that 4 was also, I think, because of that drop.
Yeah, Jitesh palmed it over.
That was actually going straight into the first slip.
Yeah, and he palmed it.
Misjudgment.
Yeah. And he was like,
there. Right on cue.
But actually, because of the onslaught by Salt and Narine, Punjab couldn't get their best bowler in the middle overs, Harpreet Brar.
He bowled 2, I think.
He bowled 2, but normally they bring him
dismissed, I think.
Yeah, so they started bowling him only after Narine was dismissed, because again the fear of the dreaded matchup that you cannot bring on a left-arm spinner to Narine, and they only brought him on against Venkatesh Iyer, that is, because he was the new batter. Okay, fine, unsettled and with Salt. With Narine bowling, they didn't let him bowl.
But look at how good the spinners have bowled. Chair's been outstanding, and Harpreet also.
Yeah.
I mean, looking at everyone else, was very good. That, begs the question, why not give him those entire 4 overs? But yeah, you miscalculated, didn't bring him on.
Yeah.
Should have got him on a bit earlier. I think later half, it was going to be tough. The only other thing, and I'm again looking at it from India's point of view, I'll still take this performance by Arshdeep today. It wasn't bad. At least he was trying a few things in the depth. Again, everyone will look at 11 economy, but I said we need to reconfigure the way we look at economies. I think 10 on a given day.
It's fine.
Yeah, you'd have to, especially the bowlers that have the tough job of bowling at death. You could be a Cummins who just bowls middle overs and have a great economy. But if you're going to be having a bowler who bowls at death and finishes his 4 overs at 11 economy in a game where 260 runs have been scored, I think it's well above par. And I think today Arshdeep was better in death bowling compared to most other times, and that's going to be very important considering he could be your death bowler going forward for the T20.
And look at it, if you look at all the pace bowlers, he's the best amongst the lot, with even the economy rate also, 11.5. Look at how...
but even if somebody was outstanding, let's say, even then, let's say Karan was outstanding, I'm just looking at Arshdeep.
Yeah.
Because
he bowled
from
a good
India's
bounce,
point
sir.
of
His short lengths today were very good if you look at
and he was nailing the wide Yorker. In that process, he gave a few wide. That's fine, because the fine line. But at least you have a plan. Okay, that I'll go there. I'll go maybe marginally this side. I'll give a wide or two. But some others that go there will be dot ball. So you make up for those things. Rather than just being sitting neat where he's tried to go for the Yorkers. They've turned out to be full tosses, leaked a lot of runs.
Arshdeep and Brar unfortunately didn't get, and even Rahul Chair for that didn't get support from the others. If especially you look at Harshal Patel and Kagiso Rabada, combined worth of 21 crores went for 100 runs in 6 overs.
You omitted Sam Curran, the most expensive bowler on the day.
He has always been struggling in this entire IPL. I can't recollect any impact of Sam Curran with the ball.
In fact, Harshal's had an off day after a few good games. Harshal started off the IPL, I remember, giving away a lot of runs and then made a comeback last 3-4 games, was one of their better bowlers.
He was good in the Mumbai and GT game.
Yeah, last 3 games, if my memory serves me correct, I think last 3 odd games, he was good. He was good. But then now again, he's at a bad time.
But I think, this season should not be the correct yardstick to measure bowlers especially. Because this season, the amount of runs have been scored. Also, bowlers like Siraj and a couple of them have told in the post-match presentation that this impact rule is hurting them. It's not for bowlers. The game has become too much batter friendly and everything. So, bowling, you are right that he had bowled with an economy of 11.20. But measuring their performance or comparing them from India's point of view would be harsh on them, I think.
No, but I agree. That's why you're giving them that much more
leeway.
But you have to judge them on their form, right? And so on a given day, on a different season, if I was okay with 8, I'll have to be okay with 10. But I'll have to judge their performance, because now if you're judging the batters, you're judging the wicket keepers, you're judging the spinners, I'll have to judge the pacers for the World Cup team, because not everyone is a Jasprit Bumrah who is guaranteed a spot. You're fighting for that position, and Arshdeep, for example, is not that guaranteed spot. I know he's a left armer, he may still be going with the team, and if they are going to go, this performance might help, because his competition will be with a Avesh. And it is possible that you go with a Bumrah, you go with a Siraj, you go with a Avesh, you go with an Arshdeep. But to fit all 4 in the 15 may not be possible. But even if you have to make the trip to go to the Caribbean as a backup, which they will definitely take 2-3 good backup bowlers, and if you are a wicket keeper, you may never get a chance to come into the team. If you're a spinner, you may never get a chance. But if you're a fast bowler, believe you me, there's a very good chance that from that reserve during the tournament you come in, knowing how our fast bowlers get.
I mean, look at it. It had to be in a T20 World Cup year that your bowlers are suffering. I mean, isn't it? I mean, you're just crossed the halfway mark, already 756 have been hit. I think you're well on course to breaching 1,000 to 1,500 sixes by the end of the IPL.
The bright side of that is that you've sensitized them to this kind of,
You've numbed them.
So they'll go, and even if, they won't panic. They won't be nervous. So what is this happening? Where have I come? We used to have this happen. It's a T20 game. You leak runs. Batters, come on, do your job. That's right. Okay, quickly, let's take questions before the chase starts.
Arshdeep's substitute and in comes Prabh Singh.
But before that, could you predictions, anyone changing in terms of, because we'd all gone for KKR, but I just have to ask. Nobody. Okay. Danush.
Worst IPL season as slogger, Narine keeps score.
But by the way, this I must say, as good as Narine has been, I would still expect bowlers to figure out a way to discuss.
They did. RCB did. Today, look what Punjab Kings was doing. They had no plan. They are bowling slot balls to him. You are letting him set. Then later on, you are trying to bowl short balls to him, by which point he is well set. The thing with any player who's a good hitter or a good batter, and I'm not talking world class, I'm talking just good, is that their weaknesses can only be exploited when they're not set. Once they're set, it doesn't matter. Then they get out also, it's fine because they've got you the runs. People were saying, oh, he should have got 100. I'm like, it doesn't matter. He's got 70 odd runs.
Oh, 70
odd runs with a 200 strike rate.
Everything, if a Narine gets me, if I'm KKR's captain, he gives me more than 30 runs.
Good for me.
I'm happy.
Any run after 30 is a bonus.
Yeah, exactly.
And that
I want him 30 in 12 balls.
10, 12 balls, 30.
Done.
And
Thank you very
see,
much.
last year they did exploit it. There was this left armers. What they would do is angle it in and swing it away. Narine would get confounded by it. So there, not many are exploiting that.
Only RCB did it, ironically.
Yeah, ironically, yes. Suryan Sharma, Ishan 8 innings, 192 runs, and Shreyas 8 innings, 218. Are these performances good for these two in their situation?
I don't think you're judging them based off the IPL given their quote-unquote situation. You judge them basis if they go back to playing regular domestic cricket,
Yeah.
A, and B, they would have to have been blowing the door off its hinges for them to even be considered given they're not contracted players right now. So it hardly matters. I don't look at it from that perspective.
Well, a very good question by Saida too. I want to take that. He said, how can selectors select without enough deliveries for Rinku? That's a very good point. But my point is, he should then be selected. It's simple as that.
Yeah.
He's not getting
Based
enough
on
deliveries. You got to pick him because of what he has done.
Correct.
I
Today was
don't,
the
I
ideal
don't blame.
situation.
No, but he can't do it. Every day, you 5 balls, you tell him to get runs. You can't do it. It's not humanly possible. A man needs to go and yes. And if you expect him only to play 5 deliveries or 6 deliveries, then be ready to accept a success rate of 1 every 3 games.
Correct.
Yeah.
Then be fine with that. But ideally, he should be getting more deliveries. I know that Shreyas had a good outing today, but even then, on some days I'd even push him ahead of Venkatesh Iyer.
Yeah.
I would. Why not? It's a situation, right? Why is it a written cast in stone he has to come at 5 or 6? Today, if you've got a great start by the openers and you only want him to come in the back half, let him come 11, 12th over, let him come. Give him 8 overs. You're not doing it. But again, the selectors can't be sending diktats to IPL team on how to play. It's their prerogative. It's their decision to take. You can't say for the sake of the Indian team do it. They can't.
They will not.
That's simple, and they should not. I agree. They have to care about what their franchise is doing. They're paying money to them. They have a coaching staff that they have their own sensibilities. They all have to do exactly what they are going to do, which is best for their franchise. So I don't blame them. In selectors' point of view, they have to pick players based on what he has been doing. Yes, today is what.
But today was a win-win situation for both Rinku and KKR because 16.4, he had a chance to play about 15, 20 balls.
How many balls did he get?
He got only 5. But then he came later, after Shreyas Iyer went.
Exactly my point.
Captain scored to promote himself
That's
and come.
actually, I don't
No,
know.
that's
Although he
it would be ideal. I am to saying get him when Venkatesh Iyer came. What's the harm? It's not a guy. He is a test player also.
Today,
It's not to say that he cannot play 8. But for
Today,
some
that
reason you
was the
decided
decision
to
which baffled me. With looking at the situation, you could have gotten a Rinku ahead of a Shreyas. I mean, see, if he's looking at India contention, which Rinku is more than Shreyas.
Yeah.
But I think that's the thing. Team
Which
at
is
this
why I
point.
don't agree with GGK where it says Rinku is a concern.
Any injury is concerned. Rinku's injury
is
is a
he
concern.
injured?
He was carrying a small niggle, that's why he was being impacted.
I'm not worsen it. He's carrying a small injury, but that's fine.
If he's playing the game.
And he's fielding today right now, so
And Asad is saying the poor guy does the hard work every match. Once you get some fun to go for the party and your seniors say go and read your books.
Ishan Kishan and Shreyas Iyer, I'm guessing, would be the context.
Maybe.
I think he's talking about Rinku Singh.
Yeah.
He's not being sent up the order to bat. He does all the hard work to gain an India spot, but then he's been sent low the order for 3-4 balls.
And I agree with Shakin. Missing those pitches where 140 can be
As a KKR fan, I agree. I loved those pitches.
even
4 spinners.
Even in Hyderabad, when SRH had that.
I mean,
Even Chepauk.
Chepauk used to have.
Only, I think Lucknow has defended 165 this season.
Because they
Only
made a pitch like that.
successful defense was
GT. LSG GT.
GT.
Yeah, that's what. Let's call it the IPSL. Because the PSL used to give you pitches which were absolute roads and we criticized that. But then see, looking at the quality of pitches this time, I think there will be a moment. Looking at the quality of pitches this time, I mean 250s been breached so regularly. Even 260s not safe. Look at it. Had SRH not gotten those 20 runs extra, they would have lost while posting 260 also.
Would you agree with Mayank Madan where he says Narine as a batter has more impact than Virat Kohli? That's a separate question. But the other point is, Okay, anyway, I'm going to answer that
Yes.
first question.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's just looking at pure numbers.
Impact is
Now, yeah, but overall,
No.
Overall, definitely
that's
not.
like, yeah, that's like, saying that if you were sitting in IPL 2021, that Harshal is a better bowler than Bumrah. Would have been, right, at that point.
Yeah.
You couldn't have said it. Anyway, the second part is very interesting. He says, KKR doing to Rinku what they did to Kuldeep.
No. You were dropping Kuldeep. You were dropping Kuldeep.
Constantly benched
Yeah.
on the 2021 season.
And both parties have now accepted on record that that was a very bad time. Dinesh Karthik was the captain. He's come out and said that he was not fair. And again, I like the fact that he's now come out and said it. See, sometimes what happens, a captain goes with a player and thinks the other player cannot win him matches. Doesn't have that kind of confidence. I don't think he did it to ruin his career, but just his own backing wasn't there. Well, I mean, again, captains go with instincts, right? So he didn't go, but I don't think anybody realized what it would have done to Kuldeep's confidence. Maybe there was a better way of handling it, not playing him, maybe still giving him
It all
that
started
confidence.
from that RCB game.
Yeah.
Where Virat hit him for 100, I
He even
remember.
accepted it that I had to have the hard talk with, tough talks with Kuldeep Yadav in those days. Also, in Kuldeep's, what went against Kuldeep was, in India, for his Indian team place was the same situation. He was being dropped out after being performing continuously. He was dropped. He was dropped from KKR. That's why he.
It was a storm, perfect storm. Because even for India, when you finally disbanded the Kulcha duo after England murdered you in that group stage game in the World Cup, 19. Who was the one they first dropped? They dropped Kuldeep. And I would say at that point, fine, Yuzi was the better spinner, but then you could have maybe had some sort of a system if you knew you only needed one wrist spinner.
They raise you so high only to drop you down that just 4 months prior to that, he had done well in Australia and Ravi Shastri had called him the best spinner.
Number one overseas spinner,
Then the IPL disaster happened, the RCB game, and after that the England disaster happened in the World Cup.
But with India, he was continuously performing.
Yep.
When he got the chances.
Again being dropped from tests, from ODIs and everything now.
In a 7-year period, he's played only about 11 tests.
Yeah.
Tells you everything you need to know.
Okay, see you.
See
End
you.
of the match.
Yep.
Bye bye. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Let's start.